So welcome back to another video, my fellow developers, and in this video we are going to develop an application just like this one. So basically it will show you the current battery status of your device, and yeah, this is because you can practice your async await and those things, okay, some API kind of stuff. So basically this shows the current battery status of your device. Right now it says 56%, which is true, okay, and so yeah, it is giving these decimals. I have to fix those. It's I don't know why, but I have to fix those. I'll fix that afterwards. So we are not going to build this whole application, but we are going to build this small piece of it, okay. So the main part, it will give you different colors as per your battery status. If it is charging, it will say charging, and it will give you a waving animation just like this one, okay. It will give you a text here, and we are using a good font. So yeah, you can follow along. You can just clone this or download the zip file of this GitHub repository. That's what we are going to do, and we are going to delete everything in here, okay. So you can just take a look. I'll leave this link down in the description below. But one caution, before we start, this is the documentation to this API from MDN. It's basically deprecated. It works on the Chrome browser Edge, where we are. It works mostly on the Chromium based web browsers, so it won't work on Firefox, Internet Explorer, Opera. Yeah, it works on Opera because it is Chromium based. It won't work on Safari. Just a quick note, if you are on Brave, this won't work, okay. Brave will give you the fake data. If you open up this website, I'll give this link. If you are using the Brave browser, it will basically say 100% charging. No, not charging necessarily, but 100%. It will show you 100% because Brave browser will give you the fake data because because of some privacy issues, okay. So they're not gonna allow it. And yeah, so that's it. We're going to build this thing, and mostly the HTML and CSS I'm going to copy and paste, and I'm going to show it to you, that how do we basically what's the syntax, okay, everything. And we are going to mostly focus on the JavaScript part. Now if you want this whole application to be made, not just the main part, you can basically, yeah, we have the emojis also. As per the battery status, the emojis will change. Well, this will also work on phone, and if you want to make this whole app, I give you the challenge. You can make it. You can clone this repository, you can delete all the code, and then you can start over, okay, and add some more functionalities if you want. So yeah, what do we need for this? So the font we are using is Audio White. It's a Google font, so you can just go ahead and select this style, and then you can just embed it. You can use the link tag or the import, okay, whatever you want. So let's go to this app. Now Firefox does not support it, as I told you, so it will give us this message because Firefox does not support it. So you can click this link or click this link to go to the respective browsers link, okay, download link. So yeah, we are going to use Font Awesome. So you can just copy this script tag, where it is, copy the script tag, and then we are going to do this, okay. So I'm just not going to close it. And by the way, I made this Firefox theme. If you like this theme, then I'm going to leave this link down in the description below again to if you want to check out this theme, and if you like it, rate it please. So yeah, we are going to build this app. Let's get started. So what I have done here is just created a new simple project, nothing special in Visual Studio Code. Because it's empty. If you take a look, it's just empty. It says .vs Code. I don't know why, so let's delete this as well. So let's start. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clone this repository, just download the zip file, and I'm going to just fast forward and then extract this inside of our workspace folder so that we can get started, okay. So I'm just going to pause the video for that. So as you guys can see, I just extracted it. So they are now in Visual Studio Code, right, as you can see. So we are going to delete some files that we don't need. Basically in JavaScript folder, we just don't need the whole JavaScript folder because we are going to write all of our code in app.js. We don't need this readme.md. Let's delete that. Let's delete the screenshot. We don't need that as well. maybe we don't need the images as well. Okay, we're not going to use any image. So assets and bootstrap.min.css. Well, one more thing that I forgot to tell you, that is I am using a bootstrap theme called Bootswatch. From Bootswatch. It's a pretty nice theme. It's called Flatly Dark, so I can just search for it. Flatly, it's called Darkly, maybe Darkly Bootswatch theme. Bootswatch theme Darkly. You can search for CDN. If you want to use the CDN link, you can do that. But what I have done here is I have just got this file from bootswatch.com. So you can just download this with from my repository basically. Okay, so you don't need to go ahead and get the CDN. So that's it. Let's close this tab out. Let's keep this open. Let's close this out, and yeah, let's close this as well. So we are not going to build this whole application, so let's close this as well. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is go to index.html, just clear everything that we have. Let's save this. Let's go to styles.css. Let's clear everything that we have. Let's go to app.js and let's clear everything that we have, and that's it. Let's go ahead and go to index.html. I can right click and open with live server. So that's gonna start up live server, and our app is empty right now, so you cannot see anything. So it says live reload is not possible without head and body text. So let's create the HTML, save, and it's just, yeah, I understand, don't show again. I can just refresh. I have to refresh to get this up and running. Okay, so let's say battery app. Okay, and let me zoom in so that you can see. So no, okay, let's minimize this. So what we are going to do, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy and paste some code in the HTML, because we don't want to waste our time. Okay, we want to mainly focus on JavaScript. So what I am gonna do is I'm gonna copy some code, I'm gonna paste it in here. So as you can see, this is very simple. So there's a main tag, there's a div with a class of container and battery container from Bootstrap. Yeah, we haven't linked it, so let's link our Bootstrap. So I'm going to go to assets and /bootstrap.min.css. I can go ahead and link my style sheet, so styles.css. There we go. Now we want font awesome as well, so let's go ahead and copy the script tag. Okay, let's go, and I'm going to go down because it is a script tag, so I'm just going to paste it here. Okay, let's save this. So now let's take a look. We don't need something. Yeah, we want the font, so let's go ahead and we have selected it, so let's just copy this link tag and let's paste it up there. So it will be like, it can be here, there isn't any problem. So let's hit save. So now I can just close it out, we don't need it. Okay, so basically we have the container that gives you this kind of interface. Okay, let me refresh. Yeah, nothing is going to happen because we haven't put our styles yet. So we have the container which makes it like this, and we have an h4 because for unsupported. So if the browser does not support it, so we are going to output this message as we did in Firefox. Then let's go down. So we have the supported. So if it's supported, then we are going to do this, and just this is the Bootstrap progress bar. Okay, it's empty right now because area value min, value max, we need to add something called area value now is equal to, let's say if I say 20, and if I just go over here and add a width of 20%, let's hit save, what you'll see is this bar right here. So it will be dynamic according to our battery status. So I can just make it 0, and this one 0 as well. It's and you have to add this. So and then if it's charging, then it's gonna say charging. Right now it says it does not say charging because we have d none. Okay, by default that means display none. These are some Bootstrap classes. If you don't know Bootstrap, it's very easy. It just gives you classes for your CSS. Okay, so this is a progress bar. You can check Bootstrap documentation for that. Yeah, so we are done with the HTML, and we have this font awesome script tag. So we are getting the font awesome icons. So it's gonna be just the Edge icon, the Chrome icon, and Firefox and Safari icons. Okay, so now let's go to styles.css, and again, as I told, I'm just going to copy and paste some code. So let me copy this code. It's very simple. Okay, it's just very simple CSS. So this basically resets the margin padding, and we don't need it, I think, because Bootstrap does that for us. Okay, we are setting font family audio wide and sans serif for our body. Okay, and for header, let's remove these quotes. We don't need them because it's just one word. So we have the header, we have a background for that. Okay, display flex, we don't need this header heading. Okay, let's get rid of this heading because we don't have the header. Then we have main. Okay, main start, you can see battery container unsupported, and we have some media, a simple media query because of mobile responsiveness. Okay, so I can just save this and let's take a look. It's gonna be here. So as you can see, now it's just looks nice because we have dot unsupported, and we have set it to display none, user select none, and mouse user select none. So it's just not here. Okay, it's hidden. And yeah, that's it for our CSS. Okay, so just basic styles. Let's close this out and let's close this out. Now let's start with the JavaScript. It's very fun. So what we are going to do is we are going to create some functions, okay, for our stuff. So I'm going to say functions start, and I'm going to just end them here. Okay, and first of all, let's start off with our data. Okay, how do we get our data? So we are using a web API for this, and it's a pretty nice web API, just a web API. Now this only works on Chrome, as I told, Chrome or Edge or any other Chromium based browser. So what you have to do is just follow along. If you don't know async await, then you have to learn that beforehand. So what we are going to do is say async, and async, wait a moment, I just forgot one thing. Let's go to index.html. Let's link our style sheet here as well. So script source is /app.js. That's it, save. Okay, now we are saying async function, and we are creating an asynchronous function that will be named show battery. You can name it anything you want. Okay, so we are making it async so that we can get the asynchronous job. Okay, so let's first of all say const. I'm going to create a variable battery is equal to, now here you can say await navigator dot get battery. Okay, so basically this is an asynchronous task, so it returns a promise, and that's why we used await. Okay, and I can just console.log the navigator, first of all navigator, and I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to console.log the battery as well. Okay, so that's the thing. Let's hit save. So basically we have the navigator API, which has this get battery, simple get battery function. So let's take a look. If we go to the console, if we hit inspect, let's go to the console, and what you will see is when our page first loads up, you won't get anything because we are not calling this function. We have to call this function, right? So let's go ahead and say show battery. Let's hit save, and then you will see we get the navigator object where with a lot of APIs. So you can just mess around with this, and let's minimize this. And inside of the navigator we have the get battery, which just returns you this battery manager. Okay, as I told, this will work on Chrome, this will work on Edge, but not on Brave. Okay, so it has a lot of properties like charging true, charging time infinity, discharging time infinity, because right now I'm charging, so it says charging true. If I just get this off, so yeah, now if you see this charging is false. Okay, so let's keep the charging false, and you have the level. You have discharging time, will not use it right now, we'll use just the level. And yeah, you have some events right here. I don't know why they did not work when I tried them yesterday. Okay, so we're just going to focus on level and charging. So you can access those properties from here. So if I say battery console.log battery.charging, and console.log battery.level level. Why you do this? Level. And let's get this out. We don't need the navigator. So if now you take a look, this will console.log the charging, that is false, and level is 0.7. now level is 0.7. it is not returning you this 70%. so if you want to convert it to percentage, very simple math, you just multiply it by 100. It's saved and you will get the percentage. Now it was 70 earlier, it is 69 right now because we plugged out the charger. Okay, so that's the thing. So we get, now let's store these inside of some variables. So I'm going to say const, I mean not const, but I'm going to say let is charging. Now why is let? Because this property can change. So let's not deal with some errors. So let's get rid of this and let's say let battery level, and I can set that to this thing, cut that and paste that. Okay, so yeah, we have let is charging and let battery level. Okay, so this is just the percentage of the battery level. And yeah, what I can do is, if I want this as a string, I can just do this. I can wrap this inside of, what is happening, I can wrap this inside of $ curly braces, and then I can say 100. Why do we have these quotes? I don't want these quotes. Let's get rid of these quotes. And now I can say %sign. So basically this is going to return the value in percentage, and this will add the %sign to it. This is basically ES6 template string, nothing else. Okay, so you don't need to worry about anything now. Now we got our battery and our battery level. Now what we are going to do is, we have stored them. Now we are going to create the main thing. Okay, so we are going to create a function that is going to change the battery's color. So basically it's going to change the color of this. Okay, so how can we do that? Well, the one way is we are first of all going to get something. Okay, so from HTML we are going to get the progress bar. Okay, it's here. So I've added a class of progress bar and progress bar striped to get it up and running like striped. It's not appearing right now, but that's fine. So let's get this progress bar. I have given it a class of progress, and also I will give it an ID. I have the ID of progress bar. So let's get that element and store it in a variable. So what I'm going to do is, above the functions I'm going to say variables start, and this should be variables end. Let's go here and let's say const progress bar is equal to document dot get element by id. Get element by id, this is basically simple DOM manipulation, and I can just say progress bar. Okay, that's the id. So we have got this element right now, and now what I want to do is, just don't initialize these variables here. So is charging and battery level. What I like to do is say let battery level, and level is charging. Okay, so just initialize these variables up there so that they are global, and let's get rid of the let. Okay, so now they are global and they can be changed anywhere inside of our whole app. Okay, so battery level and is charging, and yeah, so that's about our variables. Okay, we don't need anything else maybe. So now we are going to create one function. So I'm going to say function change battery color. Okay, so this basically takes in the value of our battery. Okay, so what's the current value of our battery? Now we are going to say, we are going to initialize a variable here. So let class name. So what we are going to do is, we are going to add some classes to our progress bar. Okay, this one. So we are going to add some classes depending on our value. So for example, first of all, let's not create this function, let's leave it. What I'm going to do is, the main function is not this one, so we can just get rid of this. So this function will be basically called, let's call this function change level, and it will take in the battery as a parameter. Okay, so this function basically what it does is we're going to call this function down here and then pass in the battery here, this battery. Okay, so let's try it out. Let's just console.log the battery. Okay, and let's go down here and let's say change level and then pass in the battery here. Now just focus here, we are creating this battery variable, we are passing it in here, it will take it here and it will console.log that thing. Okay, let's hit save and let's go in here, and as you can see it is console.logging at app.js8, so in here. Okay, so that's fine, our function is working fine. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create a battery, as we initialize the battery level variable up here, I'm going to get that variable battery level, and that will be equal to as we have done here. Okay, so why are we doing it here? Now instead of doing it here, what I can do is I can just cut this out and I can just paste this in here and I can just get rid of this. Okay, hit save. Nothing is going to happen in our program because we are not console.logging anything. So getting that battery level as a string, okay, with 100% the thing. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to change this value now. Okay, area value now. Okay, so how can we do that? Well, we can say we have got the progress bar up here, so what I can do is just say progress bar dot set attribute. So we are setting an attribute, we are just setting an attribute, so I can just say area hyphen value now, which is the attribute. I can add a comma and the value of our attribute, so that will be the battery dot level. So what we are doing here, well, we are getting this battery from up here and we are passing the battery dot level here. Okay, and yeah, so we are setting this area value now and battery dot level. This is maybe not important because Bootstrap does that, or if you want you can do this. If you get any errors, then just understand that it's important. Okay, so that's the thing. And now we are gonna say we are gonna add the width. Okay, so I can just say progress bar dot style dot width. So what I'm doing is I'm just getting the width from the style. Okay, so I'm just manipulating the styling of this progress bar from JavaScript. So it's vanilla JavaScript, and we can set it to battery level. Okay, so the width is battery level. I don't think so we should set it to battery level, because battery level is just this into 100 and percentage here. So what I want to do is just getting a lot of errors. Let's get rid of this, let's get rid of this as well. So battery level. Okay, so the width is set to battery level, that's fine. And let's say progress bar, one more last thing, dot inner text is equal to battery level, and then we can add the percent. Okay, so let's hit save, and what you are going to see in the web browser is it's reloading. And if you see, what do we get here? Let's go ahead and select this right here. So it has a progress bar striped class, it has a value min, value max, value now is dot point. I think what I should do is I should just pass in battery level instead of battery dot level. Let's save. I think that might be the problem. So we have area value now is 52, we have style width of 0%. Okay, oh, I'm sorry, this should be in percentage. So let's undo what we did till now. Control Z. Okay, so I can just set it to battery level, and I can just set this as well to battery level. and let's go down and let's say progress bar dot inner text is equal to battery level. Hit save, and now let's say okay, so we have our battery right here. Okay, so this is the current status of our battery. It's 51%, and this is the progress bar. Okay, it says 51%, and as you can see, so we are calling this function once. Okay, if you see this asynchronous function, okay, which shows you the battery, we are just calling it once, but we don't want that. Okay, because if we call it once, then it will not update in real time. If I want to update it in real time, what I have to do is I have to just say set interval. So that's a simple JavaScript method, and we are going to say show battery, and then every second. So what are we doing here? Let's say show battery here as well. So set interval, we are just setting an interval, so call this function every second. That's what we are doing. Let's hit save, and what you will see is in the console we are not getting anything, but we are calling this function every second, so this will update in real time. So as you can see, it was 50%, got to 49% right here. We did not reload the page. So that's amazing. This video can be longer. It's half an hour right now. Okay, so what I can do now, so let's just change level function. Now let's work on changing the color. How do we change the color? Well, we can change the color pretty simply. So let's create a function for that. So I can just go up there where function start and create a function change battery color, and that will take in the level. Okay, so the level, how much level is right now. So we're going to initialize a variable. Let class name. So why are we initializing this variable? Well, this variable we are going to use it, and then we are going to return it. Basically this function is going to return it so that we can use it inside of our change level, and then in change level we can just pass we run change level, and then we run show battery every second. So this will update it. So there are classes for our progress bar. So it's bg success, bg info, bg warning, and bg danger for our backgrounds. So this is right now the default background. We don't need this. We want the danger, we want the colors. If you take a look here, it says 47%, it's yellow color right now, so we want that thing. How can we get that? Well, we can use if else. So I can just say if, oh, alt tab. Okay, I can just say if. So we are checking if the level, okay, so the level that is passed in here is greater than or equal to 75, and we can say and level is less than or equal to 100, then we are just going to console.log anything, like just random text. So basically what this if statement will do is it will check that if the level that is passed in is less than or equal to 75, and okay, so this is basically the logical AND operator, and the level is basically less than or equal to 100. Now if you are wondering how I get these kind of things, so you can watch my font languages video. I'll leave that in the cards above. So we are just console.logging this, but right now if you see our level is too low, so we can check if our level is, for example, greater than equal to 20, and yeah, and less than equals to 100. So if let's go down here and let's call this function. So let's go ahead and say change battery color, and let's pass in the level. So the level is battery dot level, I don't think so, yeah, battery dot level multiplied by 100, because this level we are checking like 20 and 100. Okay, so we need to multiply this level by 100. Let's hit save, and if you take a look to the console, take a look at the console, you get this text every second. Okay, why do we get this? Well, because our level is pretty low. Okay, our level is less than 20. So what we're going to do is, in this first condition, we are going to say if level is greater than is equal to 75 and this, we are not going to console.log anything. We are going to set the class name to bg-success. So we are going to return this class name afterwards. So we are setting the class name to bg-success, and success is basically the green color, so I can add a comment here. Oops, green color. Okay, so that's the thing. Now what I can do is I can check other conditions as well, so I can just duplicate these, alt shift down arrow. If you are wondering what's the shortcut, I can set else if, so I can just say alt shift control and then I can have 3 cursors, else if. Okay, that looks amazing. So now else if, we're changing it to else if. So if the level will be greater than 50 and less than 75, let me zoom in so that we focus on this function right now. So the class name will not be bg-success because this is the blue zone. Okay, I can just say this should be, I'm using Control D, so this should be green zone. And let's go ahead, and bg-success is for green. For blue we have bg-info. So when this is the level, we are going to set the class name to bg-info, and that will be the blue zone. And now if the level is greater than is equal to 75, we don't want that. If it is 25 and this is 50, so we are just checking if the level is between 25 and 50, then we are going to set the class name to, we want the yellow. Okay, so the yellow, we have warning. For yellow we have bg-warning. Now you can check these classes on Bootstrap's website, so we can say yellow zone. And yeah, so now, and in the end we want to check if the level is greater than 0 and less than 25, this should be the red zone, so this one will be danger. Okay, simple Bootstrap classes. And in the end we are going to return the class name. Okay, now let's go down here, and we just don't want to call this function, we don't want to invoke this function here because it's returning something. So we can just say we can just wrap it in console.log. Let's wrap this whole stuff, get rid of the semicolon. So okay, so returning the class name, and what this will do is it will console.log the current class name. Let's hit save and let's see. It says bg warning because it is I can say yellow right here. I can say yellow just to show it to you. So it should be bg warning yellow, as you can see, bg warning yellow, because this is our yellow zone, 25 and 50, between 25 and 50. Okay, so I can just get rid of this to show it to you. So that's it. And now we are returning the class name, and now we want to set this class name to our progress bar. Let's do that. It's very simple. So I can just say progress bar dot class name, we want the class name, not the class list. We can say dot add. So this is basically a method that resides in, no, it should not be class name, it should be class list. I'm sorry, I don't think it should be, yeah. So progress bar dot class list dot add, and we can add in this thing. Let's cut that and let's paste that. Oh no, I got that off, so let me get that back. So let's cut that and let's paste that, and let's get rid of this function. Let's comment it out. Let's get rid of this. Let's hit save, and now you'll see the magic that our progress bar has turned yellow. Well, that's amazing. So what we are doing here, we are checking, we are creating a variable called class name. We are checking if the level is this, and then we are just putting the class name. That's amazing. Okay, and we are just calling this function here because it returns the class name, and we are creating this function, we are calling this function here, and we are calling this function show battery after each second, so it will update. So as you can see, this is the current status of our battery. And now I think yeah, one more thing that's that annoyed me a lot was the old class name. So what this does is basically progress bar dot class list dot add this change battery color function. It adds this change battery color, if you take a look, it should be here. So as you can see, it added the bg warning class right here. So as you can see, the bg warning class. But what's the problem in here? Well, whenever our battery will change, it will add one more class, and this does not update in real time. So we have to fix that issue with creating a new variable. Let old class name, that will be global old class name. Okay, so basically this is undefined right now. So let class name. So what we are going to do in here, well, we are gonna set the old class name to the new class name. Old class name is equal to new, this should be class name. So what we are doing here, we are initializing this old class name, and when this function runs, we are gonna set the old class name to the current class name. And after this function runs, we are going to remove the old class from this progress bar. So I can just say progress bar dot class list. So no, we are not going to do it here, I'm sorry. We have to do it above this. So we are going to check if the old class name is basically if old class name holds any value. So we can just say progress bar dot class list dot remove the old class name. Let's hit save, and what we will see here, we will not see any change right now, but what this will do is it will remove the old class name. Okay, if this is not undefined, if this is not undefined, okay, mark my words, if this is not undefined, I'm sorry, yeah, if this is not undefined, this is going to remove that class name. Okay, and this will be equal to the class name, and it will be removed if it is equal to the class name. Okay, just think about it and think yourself. Okay, if you don't get it. Now as you can see, this is the problem that I get a lot. I have to fix it, so it just gives you these decimals. We are going to fix it afterwards. I'm going to fix it afterwards because I did not find any solution for this for now. Okay, so that's about changing the color and changing the level and showing the battery. Now the final thing that we want to add, let's see, what do we want to add? We get the charging here. Yeah, so let's plug our device in. So I'm just going to plug my laptop in charging so that we get the text of charging right here. If I just plug it in, there we go. So it says charging now, and it has a waving animation. So we are not getting anything, but yeah, our charging is true right now. Okay, so the charging inside of our battery is true. Now we are going to create one more function. So let's create a function up there. Let's go ahead and say function change charging animation, and that takes in the boolean is charging. Okay, why the boolean is charging? Because we are checking it will be this is charging will be true or false. So what I can do now is I can say if is charging, I mean if is charging is true, then it's gonna go to progress bar, and then it's gonna say dot class list dot add. We're gonna add a class of progress bar, progress hyphen bar hyphen animated. So this is basically a bootstrap class that will get added if our is charging is true. Okay, now let's create an else block. So else, so that means if it is not true. So if it is not true, we are gonna go to progress bar dot class list dot remove. We are just going to remove the progress bar animated class. Okay, so that's very simple. Okay, now let's display the text charging. So let's go inside of if, and I'm going to say console.log charging, and let's hit save. So we're going to call this function down here. So change charging animation, and I can pass in the battery which is coming from here, and this battery is coming from here, and this battery is coming from here. So from here to here to here and here, I can say battery dot charging. Let's hit save, and hopefully now we will say charging, because it is charging currently. And you see we have the waving animation. If I zoom in to show it to you, we have the waving animation right here. Okay, it's working fine. Let's reset it. So we have the charging up and running. So I checked if it is charging, then console.log charging. Now we want to display the text. How can we do that? Well, you can do that by basically going to index.html, where you have this h4 with these classes. We can just remove this d_none class. Okay, we have the ID of charging text, so I'm just going to copy this, and let's go in the app.js and let's get that element. So I can just say const charging text is equal to document dot get element by ID charging text. So we got that element right here. Now what I can do is I can just go here, and if it is charging, I'm going to remove this. I can say charging text dot class list dot remove. So we are going to remove the what was that class, d-none. Okay, so display none. And if it is not charging, so we're going to go to else, and we're going to say charging text dot class list dot add d-none. Let's hit save, and what you will see now is that if we are charging, we'll get the text charging. And if I remove it, so there we go. Now this is not charging, and we don't get the text as well. So that's our app. Okay, it's just similar to this app right now. We don't have any differences. If you want it, you can just go to this code pen. I'm going to leave this as well in the description. So this is our app. I'm not going to deploy it, I'm going to keep it right now. Very small app. And if you want to go to the ready project, it's just basically battery-info.netlify.app. I'll leave this link in the description as well. We get the emojis as per our battery app. If you want to contribute, you can do so as well. So you can just go to github.com/battery-info JavaScript. I will leave this link in the description as well, so you don't need to worry about anything. So you can just contribute to this project as well if you have done any changes, if you like this. So yeah, please share this video to others who want to enhance their JavaScript skills. One more thing we just forgot. Oh no. So let's do some more things. What I'm gonna do now finally is check if it is compatible. Okay, if the browser is compatible. So how can do that? Well, you can just use an if. So if we are going to say, if we are going to check if get battery in Navigator, then we are going to run the function. Now in is basically checking that if this thing is in this thing. Okay, so if this thing exists. So if get battery, so get battery is the function. So if get battery in Navigator, then we are going to call these things. We are going to do this stuff, and we're going to say else we want to go to index.html and check. So this is the h4 with the class of unsupported, so we can get that. So I can just go up there, I can say const unsupported is equal to document dot query selector, and I can say dot unsupported, and let's go down there and let's say unsupported dot style dot display, and I can set this to is equal to block. Let's hit save. Yeah, one more thing, let's get the supported. Okay, so we have the supported class here, so I can just go up there again, and then just duplicate this and then just go ahead and rename this. So I can just go ahead and say select this, Control D to select the other one as well, and I can say supported, and I can go down here and I can say supported dot style dot display is equal to none. So that's it, save, and hopefully this will work right now. So if I go right here, nothing has changed because we haven't done anything. So let's copy this, let's go to Firefox, which does not support it. So let's fire up the Firefox. Let's go to paste and go, and hopefully this is not working. Yeah, this works. So this battery informer is not supported by Firefox, Safari and Brave browser, so it seems like your browser does not support blah, blah, blah. And we have these links. So if I click this, this shows me this goes to Microsoft Edge download page, and the other one goes to Google Chrome. So yeah, if you are on Firefox, this won't work because Firefox does not support it. So that's it for this video, guys, and as you can see, this changed. So yeah, we made this app. Hopefully you like it. Finally, guys, if you like it, please leave a like, and if you are new here, please subscribe my channel. And finally, guys, if you would like to comment, if you would like to give me any suggestions or feedback, I would love to hear that. Let me know in the comments below. Finally, thanks for watching, guys.